Thanks for joining our on-demand presentation of Survive and Thrive in Uncertain Times. I know 2020 has been crazy, to say the least, which presents interesting challenges that we've never faced as leaders before. Before we jump into the presentation, I wanted to give you my background. My name is Brandon Schulte, and I'm the Director of Marketing Technology Services at Xeris. We sit at the intersection of marketing, technology, and strategy. We blend the technological expertise of an IT services provider with the marketing proficiency of an ad agency. I have experience working for and with enterprise and mid-market firms across the Midwest and beyond to define their marketing technology strategy. This presentation offers common sense approaches that we are using today to generate strong returns on investment with minimal costs and low risk. We've all experienced the business and economic disruptions caused by COVID-19, not to mention the anxiety surrounding keeping our friends, family, and employees healthy during this pandemic. From a business standpoint, the reduced spending, in some cases layoffs and furloughs, follows a similar playbook of what has happened in nearly every economic downturn, albeit on a scale rarely seen throughout history. As firms face softer demand, they seek to offset revenue loss by reducing costs to maintain margins. However, just as in good economic times where projects can be pursued with somewhat dubious return projections, spending cuts and downturns can impact projects with high returns on investments, making a tough financial position even more untenable. A study by the Harvard Business Review analyzed the success of nearly 4,700 firms before, during, and after the three major recessions from 1980 through 2008. It found that firms that cut costs faster or deeper than rivals were least likely to be successful following a downturn. Firms that attempted to aggressively exploit the downturn didn't fare much better. Nearly 1 in 5 companies didn't survive the recession, and even those that did, 4 out of 5 had not returned to pre-recession sales and profitability growth rates 3 years following the downturn. Even companies that entered as a growth leader fared poorly, with 85% of them losing their market position by the end of the business cycle. The research found that those companies that best weathered the storm mixed targeted cost cutting to survive today with strategic investments to grow tomorrow. So how does a marketing or technology leader best balance the present uncertainty with an eye towards the future? We propose a three-pronged strategy to enable your organization to survive and thrive. Between COVID-19, Great Depression level unemployment, protests around the country, you might mistake this photo for a train coming at you and not the rising sun. Throw in murder hornets, 100-degree temperatures recorded in the Arctic Circle, extensive Australian wildfires, and a massive dust cloud from the Sahara Desert crossing the Atlantic, and I think we all want to take a mulligan for 2020. While we can't do that, there are ways to align our businesses to help pick up the pieces the remainder of the year. One of the most important and underappreciated assets of any organization is its ability to leverage customer data effectively. A 2020 report on software as a service from Blissfully found that the average firm employed 137 different applications in 2019. Firms that are able to harness customer data and effectively employ that information within the right channels with the right messages not only will see revenue growth, but also are strategically able to optimize spend and resources to get more bang for their buck. Second, invest in your ability to tie revenue back to everything that you do. With numerous touch points across multiple channels, rarely, if ever, does a customer buy on their first interaction with the brand. Generally, there's an entry point, a nurture cycle in one or more channels with multiple pieces of content, and then a purchase sometime down the line. Determining how much credit each activity gets will help you optimize your spend to determine where to increase or decrease investments. Lastly, if you're like most organizations we work with, even before the pandemic, you were experiencing a great deal of change driven by digital transformation initiatives. By investing in customer-centric strategies that first understand what customers need and then presenting products and services that meet those needs in real time, companies can position themselves not only as a vendor of choice, but as an ally for their customers. To start, let's dive into 3 ways your company can effectively employ master data management strategies today to derive better results tomorrow. The balance between system owned by each unit and those shared between units is a critical success factor in every organization. I think we all agree that ownership equals accountability, so clearly defining roles and responsibilities is a must. This includes strategic decisions like purchasing a new technology, connecting tools across systems post-launch, the maintenance and enhancements needed to continue to move the system forward, as well as adapting the application to meet your needs as your business grows and changes. A few general questions can be used to define ownership between different functional business units. Does this activity require configuration, which would be more non-technical, or coding, where IT needs to be involved? Can we control permissions and roles using a centralized system like Active Directory or another identity and access management system? Do our systems have native integrations or solutions that can be installed within a platform? This step requires minimal investment in resources or budget, yet can have an outsized impact on your ability to get the most out of your technology stack and staff. With different scopes and infrastructure, it is difficult for revenue generation and technology teams to fully understand and execute on each other's needs. This graphic shows what marketers need most from a technology stack. Investing in a team of production technologists with a technology leader within marketing, or utilizing a technology services partner lets this group be the go-between for IT and other functional units to maintain standards and respond to customer needs in real time. An embedded marketing technology team helps address these challenges while paying dividends for both your customers and your bottom line. If your company is like most, there are numerous databases where customer information is stored. At even a small to mid-sized business, you might have a CRM system, email system, customer service platform, possibly an e-commerce system, and various tools for content promotion. And that's before you get into any of the internal systems or databases where customers fulfill or access your products. When it comes to data management, the siloed approach is detrimental to your business. Our recommendation is to invest in a centralized master customer data management infrastructure like a customer data platform or data lake. Bringing data together lets you utilize that same master customer record and campaigns to personalize the customer experience to help amplify sales opportunities. Key goals of this initiative should be: first, to help standardize data across systems. This means if your customer address changes in the master customer record, then the master customer record gets updated so our mailing campaign gets to the prospect and not returned to sender. Secondly, be sure to reduce reliance on customizations. The more that platforms integrate natively or have standardized data, the fewer customer development resources are needed. Development resources are generally cost more than marketing resources, and these scarce resources can be used on products that are critical to your competitive advantage. It also means creating a data as a service pipeline using various integration tools that allows you to build once and use in multiple avenues. Next, reduce ongoing management expenses. Gartner found that bad data costs companies an average of $15 million per year. That adds up to nearly $3.1 trillion annually for US firms, according to IBM. Lastly, data sharing provides for better customer experiences. Imagine how valuable it would be for sales if they knew all the customer touch points when reaching out to a lead, or the importance of your customer service team being able to see the value of each customer. Lastly, how much revenue could be gained by the marketing team being able to segment based on all customer activities? Or on the flip side, how much money do you waste on ad spending today that could be avoided by better consumer targeting based on data? As legendary management consultant Peter Drucker once said, "What gets measured gets improved." To me, that's what revenue performance management tries to accomplish. In fact, a recent survey by McKinsey found that only 20% of respondents said their organizations excel at decision making. and a majority say a significant percentage of the time spent on decision making is ineffective. This blind spot extends from the boardroom to the marketing department, according to a CMO survey released in February of this year. That survey of chief marketing officers found that CMOs use marketing analytics less than 40% of the time to make decisions. How on earth are these results possible when there's more customer data science available than ever before for leaders to make decisions? For example, a chief marketing officer should have access to some, if not all, of the following data sources: their web analytics data, CRM information, email marketing data, social data, paid search information, paid social information, events, webinars, e-commerce, and even financial systems. Our hunch is this blind spot results from the inability of most companies to collect, aggregate, standardize, and attribute their customer data pipelines, which leads to guessing what works instead of knowing what works. The more you can invest in the systems, people, and processes to use data to drive decisions, the greater your chance of success. According to a study by CSO Insights, only 42% of respondents said their company had an agreed upon definition of a lead. Given this confusion about what qualifies a lead to be sales ready, it's not surprising to find frustration around the topic of lead quality. Leadership must collaboratively identify the criteria that constitute a marketing qualified lead and when to assign it to sales. Marketing should then continue to nurture prospects that don't meet these criteria with the goal of moving them through the funnel to become sales leads. First, determine the profile and engagement metrics of what type of prospects your sales team wants to see. You should also employ data analytics to see how the perception of your sales team match actual lead and opportunity data. Secondly, success metrics need to be aligned between sales and marketing. This means sharing key financial targets like the number of marketing qualified leads, the percentage of leads that qualify into an opportunity, the amount of pipeline generated, the closed won rate, and ultimately the top line revenue number. Lastly, the two units must agree on a customer handoff process, the responsibilities for both sales and marketing. A senior leader at a firm headquartered in the Midwest with an international presence once remarked to us how exciting it was to have revenue coming in at all hours of the day, even while his team was sleeping. And while globalization and e-commerce played a role in that success, so did automation. The ability to reach users at all hours of the day, regardless of time zone, language, and currency, to present dynamic messages that resonate with that customer allows marketing teams to work smarter, not harder. When it comes to automation, most marketers think of email marketing automation tools. We found that having an email platform is just table stakes when it comes to nurturing demand. In addition to marketing automation, web personalization and testing tools, as well as chatbots, should be leveraged to build demand when customers are interacting on your site or with your brand. Few things will positively impact your bottom line as building an automation ecosystem that learns what customers need and responds in kind when they are ready to buy on their schedule, not your schedule. Knowledge is power. Tech corporations like Amazon and Google have been using machine learning for a long time, and the results have elevated them to a level of success that the world has never seen before. But machine learning is no longer just for large tech companies. Marketers are understanding that machine learning can be a secret weapon in delivering a personalized customer experience, and that means the gates are wide open for who should be leveraging this type of technology. When considering how to bring advanced analytics into your business, follow these principles. First, fail fast. It's worth noting that machine learning projects are very iterative and experimental. Not every business question or use case is going to be a great application of machine learning. Being able to recognize that in an appropriate amount of time will give you more time and resources to dedicate to the golden nuggets that you are able to uncover. Secondly, start with a strong pilot project. One of the biggest challenges with adopting machine learning and advanced analytics as part of your strategy is that it usually requires a culture shift as well. This is why it's important to have a strong pilot project. There should be a tangible impact, and the pilot should relate to as many departments throughout your company as possible. It should excite people about the possibilities of machine learning. Next, consider finding a trusted consulting partner. Working with a machine learning and data science consulting company can give you a taste of the benefits of data science and machine learning for your company without having to make the full commitment of hiring a data scientist. The sexiest job of the 21st century, according to the Harvard Business Review, means that people with these skills are in high demand and can be a costly hire. This is especially true for companies that haven't fleshed out an advanced analytics strategy. Leaning on a trusted consulting partner for your initial projects allows you to take a phased approach and learn from vetted experts before making long-term financial commitments. Now let's turn to some initiatives that you can embark on now to better understand your customers to drive value within your organization. Most people think of privacy legislation when they envision laws like GDPR in the European Union, CASL in Canada, and now CCPA for California consumers. At a basic level, these laws require companies to gain consent from customers to transmit, store, and utilize customer data for revenue generation purposes. Many also require organizations to be able to purge data from customers on their request. Failure to comply could lead to substantial financial penalties. The ability to track consent, preferences, and opt-in status is not only crucial from a compliance standpoint, it also pays dividends from a customer experience perspective. Here's why. If you know what your customers want and can send them personally relevant messages, it builds trust with your brand. Infosys found that 78% of consumers are more likely to buy from retailers with targeted ads. Furthermore, if you understand the interests of your customers and how frequently they want information, you can better target your communications and reduce disengagement. Lastly, track consent. We suggest using a consent manager that opts users into having their data collected and stored via a web experience as shown on this picture. Second, on form completion, registrations, or purchase workflows, it is important to ask for and even encourage consent as part of the submission process, which is tracked in a centralized consent management system. Lastly, if someone wishes to opt out or unsubscribe, it is important to provide users an effective workflow to not only remove themselves from the list, but to hopefully maintain their subscriptions to other relevant products through a preference center. After its employees, arguably the most valuable asset any company has is its customer data. So why do so many companies struggle to take advantage of customer data? As we've already discussed, it most likely stems from siloed data within an organization. Sales might own the CRM system, while marketing owns the ad systems, while IT owns the e-commerce system, and the customer service team owns the service tool. We believe the best way to harness your first-party data is using a robust customer data platform. We are a Telium certified partner, but there are other good tools on the market as well. These tools capture both client-side and server-side data on customer activities that are stitched together to form a customer profile. From there, you can build out segments that can be activated dynamically in campaigns, as well as provide a dashboard to view key units that interact with customers, namely marketing, sales, and finance. Here are just a few of the business challenges that can be solved with the CDP. As any fisherman would tell you, there's nothing more frustrating than getting a fish to bite on your hook only to lose the catch while reeling the fish in. Companies spend so much time, energy, and money to attract customers to their products and services. Yet many industry reports peg e-commerce conversion rates in the low single digits, and landing page conversion rates are about the same. One benefit of a CDP is it helps you reduce your attrition rate by recognizing who is interested but didn't make the purchase. Companies waste significant dollars in marketing resources because the data that they have isn't unified or can't be shared between systems. This lack of a single view of the customer means dollars wasted on customers and prospects who have either already converted or likely won't convert. Every company wants to identify and target new prospects to acquire customers. By capturing customer activity data and then standardizing data into a profile, a company can use to discover the best way to reach customers and see which messages best resonate in order to increase revenue through better targeting and segmentation. While CDPs are one of the hottest new marketing tools, they are not all built equally. When looking for the right platform, make sure the tool is able to first build in connections with many data sources to collect customer activities. Next, can it standardize data from multiple applications into a consistent format? Look for systems that can transform and enrich activities into a master customer record. And then be sure that they can integrate with customer-facing platforms like your marketing automation system, social platforms, and ad platforms. Lastly, make sure that it can activate campaigns dynamically across channel. No matter where the customer is, they get a consistent experience. As business challenges have become more complex, many companies have begun turning to more software as a service products to fill needs. While most tools provide value, the sheer magnitude of tools and the requirements for each tool differ. Add to the mix that in many cases, the tools were selected for different teams or functional units, and the synergy within your technology stack can start showing diminishing or even negative returns. When you think of your technology stack, do you see balance, harmony, and the sums greater than its parts? Or do you see an out-of-control Frankenstein of tools that don't fit together? To address this disconnect, follow these tips. First, purchasing and integrating marketing technologies alone only gets you so far. To truly maximize the benefits of these investments, your staff must become experts on the technology and how these tools transform processes for your users. Training also leads to tangential benefits like higher employee engagement and succession planning. We found that one of the most important decision criteria when buying a new system is how it integrates with the rest of the firm's technology stack. While all systems say they are compatible, look for native integrations wherever possible, which means the vendor will be responsible for maintaining the connection between systems instead of your technology team. Next, look for add-ons within your platform ecosystems to use configuration instead of customization whenever possible. The more out-of-box features you can use limits your risk when you invariably add other systems in the future as new software features are released. Lastly, consider bringing a trusted technology partner like Xeris. We can benefit an organization's MarTech strategy by helping them select the right tools, integrating systems together, and training your team to meet your company's specific needs. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. We've covered a great deal of ground today. So with that, I'll be available to take any questions with my contact information below. I would love to have the opportunity to talk to you about your unique company situation in more depth. Please feel free to reach out, and I wish you the best of luck in your marketing technology needs. Take care, and thank you for listening to this presentation.